Welcome back, everybody, to the next Rams Release Tournament number 2, hosted by VGVN, One Nation of Gamers, and Liquid Hearth. Make sure to check out all kinds of cool stuff with VGVN's promotion for their giveaway of the PC, but also to take a look at other things like Liquid Hearth's forums, where they post all kinds of cool articles. For example, Xixo, who qualified from the open bracket, who we're going to watch up against Realz next, he posted a little article on his Shaman deck of how he used it to beat Hunters in the open bracket and farmed them on his way to qualifying for the second time of the tournament. Liquid Hearth also has a lot of other cool stuff like live report threads. So if you're looking for a way to interact people beyond the Twitch chat in a more stable environment, we'll use that word, go ahead and surf the website there and go ahead and post your comments. And Onog's been doing great stuff with Barcraft for several years now. They put on great StarCraft tournaments, League of Legends content, and now they're doing Hearthstone stuff. I'm really happy for them to be involved.
Yeah, sounds good. Definitely go to the forums and check them out. And by the way, Frona, what's the situation with the scores? Because it's getting intense, and it seems like the next game will be Realz versus Xixo, and Realz already in the ropes.
Yeah, Realz has to win this or he's out. It goes without saying, but more specifically, I think he has to win pretty dominantly. I want to say he should, like, 3-0 or 3-1 is the way to go here, because he's going to hope that he beats Xixo and then Xixo loses to Trump, so that way there's a three-way tie for 1-2 record. So this is the ideal situation for Realz fans. Meanwhile, if Trump wins his next series versus Xixo, it might not matter what happens in this series, because Realz can win, Xixo can win, but then Trump is the one that ends up 2-1, and then these guys end up going home in the bottom two. So it's a little bit of a dicey situation. Realz is going to need help from Trump to lose the next series, and he's going to have to win pretty dominantly here.
Yeah, definitely. He needs to win like 3-0, 3-1. If he loses, he's out.
Sounds good to me.
Cool.
Let's go to the ban screen, by the way, and figure out what these guys are choosing to ban. Both of them have been avoiding Hunter's bans, instead letting their opponents play Hunter. And it's reflected once again with the deck choices. Xixo banning the Warlock of Realz. Realz sticking to his guns and letting Hunter roam free, while he takes out the Warlock of Xixo's.
That's so interesting, by the way, because, well, we've seen Realz lose to Hunter, so I guess he still feels confident with his Miracle Rogue and with his Paladinist to win versus Hunter, but still, he lost to Hunter against Trump. So I would probably lean to banning Hunter anyway. But if you have a strategy that you prepared for the tournament, it's kind of hard to just drop it off and has to have this knee-jerk reaction to actually ban Hunter right away. On the other hand, Xixo, well, we talked about it. He's fine with playing against Hunter with his Shaman deck, but he's not going to face the Hunter now. He's going to face a Paladin. So how does Shaman actually work versus this Paladin deck?
Well, the hero powers don't exactly stack up equally all the time. The 1-1s over time defeat the 0-2s. But there are ways to kind of tilt the matchup in your favor with some of these really specific tech cards. Harrison Jones, one of them, is usually good to keep against Shaman, but not against Xixo Shaman. Or excuse me, he is running Doomhammer. Who's the Shaman that wasn't running Doomhammer? I apologize. I thought someone wasn't running Doom. Oh, it was Colento. Colento wasn't running Doomhammer. My apologies. In that case, Harrison Jones is a huge tempo swing just because of how much you're able to do. Take away the 6 charges of Doomhammer, and then you're also drawing 6 cards. These are the ways to absolutely blow out the matchup. But traditionally, I do know that Paladin late game scales much better than what Shaman is. There's going to be a window where Shaman has to kind of burst the Paladin out of the game, or it has such a big dominating presence that Paladin can't do anything and its hero power is useless because it keeps trading, and then the healing totem is able to kind of keep Shaman in a good position. So I think it really depends on how Realz is opening. If he opens similar to the way he did against Trump with really clunky hands, like 3 weapons and a lay on hands, he's in for a bad time.
Yeah, so he needs kind of like an early start, but if he is able to actually postpone the game into mid-game, he should be able to win with all the board clears that he has with Wild Pyromancer, Equality, Consecration.
Yep.
And on the other hand, Xixo, if he has a good start, his deck, his Shaman is really bursty with the Doomhammer and Flame Tongue. So if Xixo has a good start, he might just steamroll Realz just here.
All right, game number 1's about to begin. between Xixo and Realz. Both of them looking for a much-needed win because Realz wants to once again validate himself as one of the top players before he goes, because this is one of Realz' last tournaments, if not the last, that you might see him. Meanwhile, Xixo, he came in all the way from the open bracket twice, not to lose in the round of 8, but to go all the way. And it seems like, well, Xixo, either he's cold or he's doing some dark incantations to summon RNGesus. I don't know.
Xixo.
Maybe both.
He turned into a Sith. So he will
Nice.
use the Jedi powers. Oh yeah, definitely. So looking at the hands of both players, Xixo, this is not a good start for Shaman. I mean, he has some cards. He has Harrison Jones, which is cool, but he really missed all the early drops that he wanted to have. And Realz, on the other hand, has all the early drops that he wanted. He has Echoing Goose, he has Pyromancer, which is pretty important, and he has only one copy in his deck, and a Harvest Golem as well.
It's a funny transformation from series to series that Xixo was. He was like a very proper person with a nice haircut and everything, and now it seems like I don't know, he's like a dark cultist or something.
Underground Xixo.
Yeah,
He's
like an MC
twin.
rapper or something, going total 8 Mile on us.
Maybe he's hiding from the sun. It looks
I
like.
know I do that too.
Oh yeah, gamers hate sun. That's for sure.
By the way, a great start for Realz to get this sort of justice going on and able to kind of take things out very systematically. He's got Harrison Jones too, so Harrison Jones could pick up 2 or 3 charges, which would be the dream, and fill his hand. And I can't imagine a better way to start than this for Xixo. Gosh.
Unless Realz actually. Oh my God, he's actually using Inspiration, so Xixo will be able to pick up 3 cards out of it.
Right. If he used Echoing Ooze instead, he would have actually used up a couple of charges there. And now Realz
Look at his reaction.
frustration. How does this keep happening?
Yeah, this tournament, those things are happening all the time to Realz.
I wonder if the first card Realz tackles as a Blizzard Associate Game Designer is Harrison Jones. Just for personal vendetta. A Maz at DreamHack Summer. Xixo here in the VGVN. I think even the previous VGVN, he got Harrison on his Assassin's Blade for Rogue.
I think
Clearly
he was using it as well. So he was using it to his good advantage as well, the last tournament. I think that the last tournament we've seen like Harrison Jones being used 4 to 5 times, and many times it was used at the Doomhammer, drawing 4 to 5 cards. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if in the next patch notes, after Realz joins Blizzard, we'll have nerf.
Harrison Jones has been removed by the game.
Somehow
Hyphen
the files is missing.
It's been deemed unfun by Blizzard. By the way, Realz True Silver Champion is another way to kind of pull back. Really unfortunate that it sort of just didn't pick up value, because that was his way of making his tokens, or his hero power rather, all totem killers.
Oh my God. Is Xixo actually going to play the Doomhammer here?
Oh man, you're right. I forgot that Realz has Harrison Jones. That would be hilarious.
That would be so sick, like double Harrison Jones with a lot of value. But Realz would actually get more value here.
Oh, of course. The only thing, the way to trump destroying Sword of Justice is getting his Doomhammer.
Well, this board is actually shouting like, hey, you want a Doomhammer here. Oh my God, he's going to do it!
No! Oh my God! We've been seeing a lot of donations today in the name of Harrison. He is the greatest patron of the art, and Realz has vindicated that. You know what? Patch notes have been released again. Harrison Jones can stay.
I guess. I'm sure he's happy.
Oh my goodness. He's gonna have a full hand. He's gonna have 10 cards.
Look at Xixo. Look at Xixo. What is going to happen?
That belongs in a museum.
Oh.
Oh my
And
God.
what a you know, I was just messaged, by the way, by the admins that says that Xixo was coming in through the open bracket, and then he was a little too excited to sleep. So at this stage of the recording, he's been awake for 42 hours out of 48. The guy's barely slept at all, but what a way to have your dreams crushed, as Harrison Jones has turned his back on him.
I think it's
Oh my
standard for
God.
Xixo. When he's getting first legend, he's not sleeping at all. It's like I tried it before. I tried to grind it and just get the legend. I had to go to sleep. Then I wake up and Xixo was still playing. So oh my god.
Makes total sense too, to play Doomhammer. The longer you wait to use Doomhammer, the higher chance he has something like Harrison Jones. So
Oh, yeah,
you kind of want to get out of the way. Plus, you want to clear it out on some of the small minions. Oh, Realz loses Consecration, which is a card that is very valuable against Shaman, but still, I think he's kind of content with how things have panned out. He's taken away one of the win conditions of Shaman.
Yeah, certainly. And here also the thing is like the mindset is also important because Reels was kind of upset when he got Harrison Jones, but like when he got hit by Harrison Jones. But now Xixo is in a really bad state. He looks at the Paladin's hand, which is just full, and his board is not that exciting as well. So even though he stopped Paladin this turn, he knows that it might be difficult to win the board battle. And Reels actually has the Pyromancer Equality combo as well. So if Xixo wins the board battle the next turn, Reels will still just wipe the board full. And so it seems like Reels is in a really good spot in here.
Oh, I'm inclined to agree. Although Xixo does have ways to climb back. He's got Lightning Storm. He's still got Mana Tide to keep up draws. So he can go for like board clears. And Fire Elemental is not too bad of a pickup here either. See what he gets off this Lightning Storm RNG. If he can kill off the Defender Bar, that'd be very nice. And roll high on that I can't talk right now.
Yeah, he got a good roll
Peacekeeper.
anyway.
God, but it was so hard to talk about it.
It didn't matter on Peacekeeper, I think, but still, he got a good roll. He was able to clear the board. Yeah, the equality play. Yeah, it's even better because he keeps the Pyromancer instead of just Pyromancer equality. Like we've seen in the future, we've seen in the past, like Realz was actually playing Pyromancer equality instead of doing equality Pyromancer heal play. So a pretty nice play in here where he actually keeps the Pyromancer. He cleared the board, but Xixo has still a lot of cards. So this game is far from over. Those players will fight for board presence till fatigue, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, this matchup can go to fatigue, especially with the mid-game accelerated with the many draws that we saw. I like also playing the Feral Spirits because you've already seen the first Consecration play and the second one burned through Overdraw. A secret has been revealed, which we know is Avenge, but of course Xixo is kind of wondering, well, what is he playing?
Would you expect Avenge being Xixo in here?
I don't know.
Never.
No. But what else could it be? Noble Sacrifice? Redemption?
I guess.
Why would you play it on a board with a token? I feel like if you make a conclusion, it has to kind of be Avenged. Xixo has Hex for it.
Eye for an eye.
Eye for an eye! Sure, we saw the tabletop it being effective. Total Biscuit versus Trollton.
Oh yeah. Avenge is doing good work in here.
Well, the Hex is going to destroy its hopes, or even Earthshock. He wants to save Hex for Tyrion.
Oh yeah,
and then
definitely.
Earthshock. Then.
Yeah, you want to save the Hex for Tyrion. But how do you deal with the 8/8? Well, you can also Earthshock Tyrion possibly, which will make it like just a 6/5. Not hard to kill. And Hex is just giving him board right now. Hex, Harvest Golem, and I don't know, Lightning Storm? Or maybe even...
Yeah, Earthshock Lightning Storm also accomplishes similar goals.
Yeah.
In fact, if he rolls high, Xixo can completely sweep everything. Ooh.
Unlucky Xixo. He's disappointed.
Oh man, I would be too if I were him.
Well, how do you even finish it now? Just overload yourself again.
Yeah, I think you gotta climb back in the card battle too. So playing the Mana Tide here makes total sense. But gosh, if he didn't have to, if he could have kept that Lightning Bolt, could have been. You never know if it's a brand new game because you have to use that removal on something else that's also equally a threat that gives you the ability to build the board. Tough position, but Realz, by the way, is just gonna rebound. He's also got Lay on hands, so he can continue his hand size. This is why Mana Tide is so important in the control matchups.
Yeah, it's kind of cool because he played a lot of minions. He has second equality, so he should be able to clear next turn, and he's not afraid of losing health because of Lay on Hands. And next turn, he actually set up the next turn for a pretty nice equality Lay on Hands setup. So Xixo is actually going to clear, which makes a lot of sense.
Still a little bit of a precarious situation. You know, you're not sure if your opponent's running something like Avenging Wrath, but it's been cycled out. I don't know how many paladins use Avenging Wrath nowadays, unless it's like a Shockedin with burn inside of it. I don't know how many people like to run Avenging Wrath, at least in these time tournaments.
I feel
But
like people still use it on ladder, especially because it's a good card. It's dealing damage, and with equality, it kind of works as well.
fair enough. Fair enough.
Let me think.
By the way, Xixo is what 20 cards deep in his deck. You have to assume that Hex is ready to go. So dropping Tyrion, is, especially on a board like this, is out of the question. But even if the board was a little bit clearer, you're kind of afraid, and that's what you're hoping Garden of Kings could do. You could bait out removal, which you did a good job of. It took a Earth Shock, Lightning Storm, and Lightning Bolt.
Does Realz still have the second consecration in his deck, or did he use one
No, he
early?
burned it. He used
burned
one
one.
early, and then
Okay.
the Sword of Justice, remember?
And with
And then
one,
he consecrated.
oh yeah, right. So with one Pyromancer left, one Pyromancer was used, and he's running only one. What kind of board clear he can actually draw?
Okay.
Lothep seems fair. It's
Well, he only has one Pyromancer too, by the way. So he doesn't have a second one to kind of combo
Yeah.
with spells.
Lothep is good here because well, Xixo will have to spend a lot of resources to cast his cards, but on the other hand, Realz is really behind with all the cards we see in here.
Oh, he's behind, but let's see what Lay on Hands is able to continue to build up on his favor.
Well, Xixo
So-
is still drawing a card from the totem this turn, so
Yeah.
he continues to build his advantage. Board advantage and card advantage. It looks pretty good for Xixo.
Yeah, not bad so far. What can Realz do? He still holds some of his premium removal spells too. Two hexes is pretty much as good as he gets.
Yeah, and he can kill the frog with a 1/1 totem. This mana totem did so much work. It's incredible.
Oh yeah, mana ties are so important in those control matchups. He draws you those cards. It effectively acted like Lay on Hands while being able to play removal. And Hex number 1 is going to make Realz pretty confident that maybe he can drop Tyrion or something, but this is the opportunity that Shaman was waiting for, building up the board and being able to kind of squeeze Paladin out of the game. Oh, and you know what? Xixo doesn't want to draw any more cards, by the way. It is getting to the fatigue stage. We've been paying attention to what's been in the hand, but also pay attention to what's in the deck.
That's pretty smart. There's possibly like 2 or 3 cards in his deck,
Put your faith in the
and he got enough cards. He was both equality was used, so he's pretty confident in what's happening.
Hold on, Alec here, off the top. Does that
Well,
allow
he's-
him to end the game? Yes,
It
I
mu-
think so.
Yeah, it should be enough.
Yep, he's got about 16 damage, or a little bit more by my count, with Alakir and Rockbiter. And Xixo has defeated Realz's Paladin deck and takes game 1.
Pretty good run from Xixo. Well played. He was able to utilize the mana tide and do enough damage, get a lot of cards, win the board situation. Harrison Jones on both sides, but still, even though Realz got more cards from Harrison Jones, he wasn't able to get back to the game and
Well, burning that
Win.
second consecration was so devastating for Realz.
it seems like even though Paladin has a lot of AoE stuff and a lot of cards that clear the board, Shaman still has more card value, kind of, because your endgame plan as a Paladin is play Tyrion and play those big dudes. And being Shaman, you just hex it, you just keep those hexes for the right moment. So Paladin just exhausts all the cards, all the threats, and when Shaman exhausts all the threats from the Paladin side, you just win with what you have. And And that's exactly what happened this game.
All right, well, Xixo built his Shaman, by the way, to be tooled against Hunter and prepared. But Realz has a little different Hunter. He's playing one as if he knows he can play the mirror matchup because he has things like Flare. Flare is great in the mirror. He's not playing Trap, so that way he's not susceptible to Flare, and so he doesn't have to use these slots like Mad Scientist and Traps. He can play more Beast-centric with Oasis Snapjaw and Scavenging Hyena and Timberwolf. So he's taken a different approach. He's made less of a Trap Hunter and more of a Beast synergy. And this deck definitely wins strong against not only the Hunter's mirror, but also just in general. It's still very potent. And against Shaman, you still have a lot of the very strong cards. Unleash the Hounds with Timberwolf can go for full clears. And of course, if you can avoid the hexes on the Savannah High mains, they're a really good win condition as well.
It's part of his strategy why he's banning Zoo, because this build is probably a lot worse against Zoo than the standard Beastcleave that Colento was running. So with the Zulok possibly banned, this might go into a Hunter mirror, and Realz is never banning Hunter because he feels good about this matchup. But on the other hand, we talked about Xixo being fine in this situation, so I'm excited to see how Xixo actually deals with this Hunter, and if he's able to extend his lead and win another game.
All right, let's jump into game 2 and find out if Xixo's Shaman Hunter killing spree can continue, as that's exactly what he did for most of the open bracket, which he came from single elimination. And Xixo needs this win. If he wins here and he beats Trump, he advances to top 4. But it's really hard to kind of get past that since Hunter is standing in its way.
A web spinner start, I guess you're happy.
I'm always happy. But there's an Earthshock, so I guess I'm not as happy.
Earthshock, the most important card in this matchup, as Xixo was saying. You really wanted early to be able to deal with the threats. I'm not sure if you actually Earthshock the web spinner, but Halted Creeper is a good target. And speaking about the devil,
there's definitely a target you end up Earthshocking. Realz, by the way, wants to collect value immediately with this Scavenging Hyena and make it a 4-3. But then you're still kind of susceptible to something like Lightning Bolt early. So how much are you willing to trade off that early game presence and yet lose your web spinner? Who knows? Maybe he picks up something nice off the web spinner too, like a good 3-drop.
Well, you can always take a gamble. It's the thing is, like, what kind of follow-up do you have? If you play Hunter Creeper, your web spinner still dies. But I guess Hunter Creeper is a better play because you just stabilize the board instead of taking gambles and taking a gamble when your opponent can have double Lightning Bolt or double Rockbiter. It's a pretty risky thing. So definitely Hunter Creeper a better play in here. Now I guess he can play it without any problems.
Well, I mean, he's a little sad that the Hunter Creeper died. But this is what Shaman needed to do to stabilize. Young Dragonhawk, welcome to Hearthstone.
Young Dragonhawk loves VGVN. He's always appearing on those
Someone tell him
tournaments.
it's the wrong year to be in the Hunter deck. It's not 2013 anymore. Unleash the Hounds has been altered, so that way you cannot get +1 attack and charge this turn.
Oasis Snapjaw is a cool card, I guess. A 2/7, hard to deal with, and there's only a 3/1 Spider right now. So, looking at the situation, what do you say? Like, who is winning right now? With Oasis Snapjaw, Realz has a follow-up with Lotheb, which is kind of a cool card that stops Shaman, so he might be able to develop the board with Lotheb, but other than that, his hand is not that good. And Xixo has double Fire Elemental. So what do you think?
I think until Realz draws like Buzzard Unleash, he's kind of in a tougher spot. But you know what? I kind of looking at Xixo's hand, and he doesn't have a good turn 5, and this might be an opportunity to swing. Yeah, so Xixo's still in a little bit of a tougher spot. He really hopes his opponent doesn't have Unleash the Hounds and Buzzard, but so far so good. And he also wrote a Taunt Totem. That's excellent.
Well, his Manatine will be dying anyway. Oh wait, Iron Beak. Yeah, but still, Real's hand is not that exciting with the Dragonhawk and the Iron Beak. Oh man, and he knows that Fire Elemental is coming. Or is it? Is Xixo overloaded actually? He's not.
I don't
Okay.
believe so. He totem in Manatide last turn.
Yeah, he's not. So Fire Elemental is coming next turn, dealing 3 points of damage.
Okay. Can he ignore this? Can he go for damage? Shaman can't heal, so if any damage you put of pressure onto the Shaman
Well,
gives you that. But are you afraid of something like Defender of Argus and trading? Like, I don't know.
even like Rogue Biter still creates some value, because then you can just attack with a 0-free totem. That's
Sure.
that's useless after that, but
Yeah,
still,
it's
this
just
is,
a liability for Unleash the Hounds now.
yeah, I think this is the Fire Elemental turn, or is it? To try and roll.
Yeah. You gotta
Yeah,
stop
definitely.
taking damage. The Hunter's just pushing out so much. Alright, flare
Flare.
something.
It's
Realz
something to
can-
cycle.
Yeah.
Master is pretty nice.
Wow.
So,
So do you
can,
Houndmaster and Hunters, or Houndmaster's Hunter's Mark and then push, or do you feel like
you
kind of afford
definitely.
to spread it out?
I think it definitely Hunter's Mark the 6/5 and kill it with what do you kill it with? Do you kill it with a turtle, like a 2/7, and still like keep it alive? Oh, he's going face like fully.
Wow.
That's also an option, because he has kill command, and we know that Shaman doesn't have a good way to heal, and like actually no way to heal himself.
Even
Think
playing
so.
around Hex here because he realizes that the way to win is what he has now. Kill command and hero power. Hero power every single turn as much as possible. And he puts a clock on Xixo, who does have Hex, and he can kind of start dealing with this. A little bit of annoyance, by the way, that for Realz, that he can't necessarily kind of get some draws. This is exactly what Hunter struggles with if they don't have the Unleash the Hounds. We
Well,
kind of
because-
mentioned, like, what's one of the ways you can deal with Hunters, the fact that they don't draw well all the time. They don't
Yeah,
have Buzzard Unleash.
This looks actually pretty bad for Realz. Do you kill command the 6/5? You can actually play the Dragonhawk, buff it with Huntmaster, and then kill command the 6/5. And it
Oh,
might
but
be
then-
the best.
Yeah, but then Fire Elemental is going to destroy Realz' board.
Well, we have to assume that second Fire Elemental is not there. You just see
Yeah.
one.
Well, he's got one plan. He's going to play to his outs and continue to hero power as much as possible. But this
Just
is
playing
where
to win.
Fire Elemental is going to be able to turn it out. Let's see. He's got 9 damage right now.
7, 9. Yeah, definitely he has to do some good trades in here. And he's out of double kill command. Well, double kill command range, kind of. Not really, because there won't be a beast board.
Yeah.
But still, Xixo's board is so threatening.
Realz taking big hits here. And sets up potential lethal for the following turn. Realz needs something big.
Double
Kill
kill
command.
command.
Oh, man. But he's staring at lethal.
He's... Oh my god. If he wouldn't play that Dragonhawk, he would just win. This is exactly what
You
he
are
needed, right?
correct. If he held the Dragonhawk.
That troll Dragonhawk. Oh my god. Can you
Oh,
imagine
man.
it?
Who's useless now? Troll smile.
Yeah, this is actually pretty sad.
Well, because now... Oh, wow. He's going to kill command himself and concede. He's trying to
Doc-
figure out if there is a way to win. If he top decks something like Leroy. But Realz felt like it was not winnable position, so he is going to give up game number 2. And Xixo's out to a 2-0 lead with Shaman. He's slayed another Hunter with it.
By the way, this is the moment. We talked about it. Realz would have to win this match with a 3-0 score of a 3-1. Right now, Xixo eliminated Realz. But it's important for Xixo to still win the series with as good a score as possible, because he might be still fighting for the second spot, going with the Colento to the quarterfinals. So Realz is possibly out right now, with no way, with the point of no return. But still, he's fighting for the pride Definitely. Did he win, by the way?
No,
Didn't.
Realz is 0-2 right now in the overall tournament.
So he's definitely fighting for the pride. He wants to win at least one match.
Yeah, it's not like this to go out. You know, Realz is always a contender what tournament he goes to. It depends on if he's on or off. And in this tournament, he's just a little off, winning series or losing series by a score of 2-3. And if you kind of get ushered out like this, it's just a little disheartening, just because Realz, this is his last competition as far as we know, for the foreseeable future. Maybe somewhere down the line, Realz is able to compete again. But for now, he's going to be joining Blizzard's development team, which means he's not eligible to play in things like BlizzCon and other high-profile tournaments.
Oh yeah, this is. It's pretty sad to see him go, but on the other hand, I'm happy that a person like Realz is joining Blizzard because he has a good understanding of the game and he will be representing us players. So, talking about the matchup, by the way, he is down to his Miracle Rogue with 100 Creeper and Saucy Deckhand. Miracle Rogue is one of the decks that in the past was able to sweep as well, like 3-0 scores and stuff. Here, going versus the Shaman, he really needs Auctioneer and some board wipes as well, like the Fan of Knives or Blade Flurry.
Yep. That's the card I'm going to be looking for Realz if he wants to kind of climb back into it. Avoid Harrison Jones if possible on his Assassin's Blade. I don't know. It's kind of a running joke at this point that Realz is going to get Harrison Jones. Will it happen in Game 3? We're about to find out. As Xixo is going to try to end 3-0 in the series, so that way he can get as much wins as possible, setting up for a potential second place. Let's jump into the board and figure out what these guys are going to open out with.
This Harrison Jones, by the way, has this trollish smile on his face.
Oh, of course.
The Realz has a coin. He doesn't have an Auctioneer, but he has Deadly Poison and Backstab, which is pretty cool. He will be trying to get that Auctioneer as soon as possible, and he needs it. On the other hand, Xixo has a pretty good start with an Undertaker and Flame Chunk. He will be racing. He will want to deal as much damage as possible.
Yeah, I think killing off this Undertaker is the utmost priority. It always grows out of control. It's similar to Unbound Elemental. If you let it live, you always end up living to regret it.
Especially with all the Death Rattle cards that fits the Shaman turn 2 with Haunted Creeper and the Rubian Egg. So definitely a good choice by Realz.
He can spare the card. He's got other decent cards too to kind of back it up.
Well, so how do you think the game will unfold in here?
Well, I think Xixo needs to start hitting minions. He needs things to do. If he picks up second Hex or, I don't know, something pretty weak overall, then he's going to be in a little bit of a tough situation because he can't continue to... well, now he can actually pressure slightly with Flame Tongue.
Yeah,
so
he has some minions on board, so it's not that bad. On the other hand, Realz doesn't have Auctioneer, and he doesn't have any card that provides a lot of pressure. He is able to deal with the Totem right away with his weapon, but with no Auctioneer, it might look weird. Lothab is a pretty nice card to play because it shuts down Shaman, especially because Shaman is full of spells. What? But wait, Xixo is able to
Wow, Taunt Totem is actually very crucial here. Although he does have a Eviscerate to kind of reach through, but assuming his opponent didn't, that was a very nice
he got
pickup.
an Auctioneer. This game is changing right here, right now.
There we go.
I got the best deal
Preparation is also ready to go.
Shadow Step is pretty nice as well because he will be able to return gadgets into his hand.
Yeah, he doesn't have any other way to continue to draw it. It's too much of a risk to leave Gadgetzan out there in the open, so return it back to your hand.
It's so cool, by the way, for a Miracle Rogue that you can use Shadow Step on Gadgetzan, and I was often using it in the Shaman matchup as well. If you have a bad hand, and he kind of like had a hand that's not very exciting for Miracle Rogue in this matchup, you just play a couple of cards and reset your hand because you get 3-4 cards out of it.
What a top deck for Xixo to shut down a follow-up Gadgetzan turn. We know that Realz can just simply drop the Azure Drake, but it was important to make sure to cut off Realz's flow of cards there from the Gadgetzan drop second number 2.
Yeah, Love Flap is pretty nice. On the other hand, Xixo doesn't have a good follow-up because he has a lot of like, cheap spells that don't do much. He will be able to clear that big 3 Farseer, but he still needs something. Lightning Storm is not a card he wanted. Fire Elemental would be so good, but he didn't get it.
Yeah. But he's still putting damage back on Miracle Rogue. He's still at a comfortable number of hit points at the moment, or health.
And the question
But-
is if Realz
oh,
is
man.
going to join to SAP. Play Auctioneer. Div. Do you YOLO it? Do you do you try to get the miracles? Because you will draw a lot of cards. You can play a couple of cheap spells. From Shiv you get 2 cards. You will still have, well, I guess 2 mana. So if you get a sap out of this Shiv Auctioneer, then you're good. But if not, then you might put yourself in a weird spot. So maybe it's not the gadgets in turn.
No, it might be other creatures like Drake or. Well, he's going for Shiv, so he has the ability to deadly poison or something. Oh, he got preparation. That is pretty disappointing because he would have been able to prep and do other cool stuff with Gadgetzan if he went for it. Not enough YOLO from Realz.
Well, he
We
still has a good turn with the deadly poison into Lothab. Drops to 15, but he doesn't feel that threatened with only a 1/1 token on the board.
Oh, Harrison Jones off the top for
Oh my
Xixo,
God.
and this man continues to haunt his life. He's got Earthshock to follow it up. Oh, man. And I go back, you know, new patch notes has been released once again. Harrison Jones has been removed not only
You know
from
what?
Hearthstone, but also World of Warcraft.
You know what? I feel like at this point, Realz is not even surprised about seeing Harrison Jones. Look at Realz. He's like, yeah, whatever.
Oh, well, at least it's not Assassin's Blade, and he picked it up.
Oh,
But,
and he
you know, Realz
he
is
wanted
sitting
to
on a
sap.
low amount of life, too, by the way. He
Oh
needs
my
to be
God.
careful.
He was laughing because he wanted to sap Harrison Jones. And now he got...
Oh, sapping Harrison Jones when there's Assassin's Blade sitting in his hand, but he's got to stop taking damage. Concealed comes into the hand, so he's going to be able to continue drawing. But he's going to have to find other ways to win other than this Assassin's Blade.
The irony of the situation, that Harrison
Gosh.
Jones haunting Realz. Well, being Xixo, you're probably pretty disappointed with your hand.
Yeah,
you
you
wanted
know,
to roll
Harrison is
spell damage.
actually important. Harrison's actually important to kind of add the damage to win the game.
That belongs in a
Didn't
Oh,
also hit the
wow.
totem. He missed the totem, by the way. He wanted to have the spell damage, and he actually got a chance.
Fortunately, he didn't have the ability. Second sap will continue to draw for Realz, and he picks up Leroy. So Leroy is a way to kind of end the game.
Well, but he used 1 Shadow Step, so right now Realz has to ensure that he deals as much damage as possible. He gets the second Shadow Step, and
Got
also
Cold
I
Blood.
think, yeah, he has a lot of damage potential. But on the other hand, he's running out of cards. From like the cards in his deck are also almost done, so he needs to deal as much damage as possible. And that Gadgetzan is going down next turn.
This guy's
He's got plenty, let me tell you that. Especially since Shaman can't heal. Alright, Xixo needs something here to kind of answer. Doomhammer! Off the top
Oh my
with
God,
double
this is
Rock
it.
Biter!
This is it.
Xixo is gonna win this series 3-0!
Xixo is counting damage. Can he see it? Or do you miss lethal?
No. He
missed
sees
it.
this. No. He still has the mana.
Doing
no!
Lightning Storm.
Don't do this. It's so tempting. Xixo has
Okay.
16 damage just from Doomhammer and double Rock Biter. No. He's got it.
I'm sure he's super tired, as we mentioned, and right now he's
Yes.
in a spot. I need to get rid of that Gadgetzan, or I will lose this game.
No.
Instead of thinking, hey, I can just win this
game. What a disaster. Xixo has missed an opportunity. You know what? It's okay. He still has the mana next turn. And he rolls
Oh,
high.
he
He
sees
rolls
it.
high on Gadgetzan. Oh no, he realized. He said, I have Doomhammer.
Just realized
Oh no.
he missed lethal. Even though
Mistakes were made. That was a mistake.
that was so weird. Do you still play?
Yikes.
Do you still play the Doomhammer here?
No, you play Harrison Jones and you threaten him. The elements will destroy you.
I guess.
Wait, no, wait. How is there lethal in the hand of Realz, by the way? I don't think so, right? There's
Yes,
12.
12.
14. Nope. 16 damage.
Yeah. So looking good for Xixo still.
All right.
Yeah, Xixo can't
Xixo is
believe
gonna
it.
be so upset if he dies to this.
Well, one shadow step is out, so he knows. Oh my god, it
Wait.
does deckhand change. No, it doesn't
That
change
18
anything.
damage now. Realz is 2 damage off lethal.
I don't think he has mana for everything. It's 6 mana for Leroy, and he has 4 mana left, and it's 8 plus damage. Xixo is dying here. The pressure.
Oh man, hood comes off. My plans have been foiled. Curse you, Luke Skywalker!
So many.
He's thinking like,
Realz
is there...
can't win. He needs Farseer and Shadow Step is Farseer in order to survive, by the way. The fact is Doomhammer is up, and Realz is very aware of how he can die next turn. No, there is no way to pull yourself out of this one, Xixo. You have to endure it like the rest of the other people who have also suffered the current situation. Xixo still wins this game, but you know what? He also has joined Colento's players who have maybe faltered just a little bit at the finish line.
It would be so funny if they actually both advance after single lethal. Look at that. He only played one, just in case. To not give himself out.
Okay, well, Realz is going to be out of this tournament 0-3, which means that Xixo still also has a chance. He has to defeat Trump as the final boss in order to advance to top 4. If Trump wins, he's through. That's the current status of the situation. The graphic hasn't been updated fully, though, you see that Realz is still kind of undecided there. So Colento's in first place, and he awaits to see who's going to be number 2, as you see the update there. Xixo's 3-3.
Is there a way... like, the next match is Xixo versus Trump, but is there a way for Trump to advance if he loses to Xixo? Or is it just an
no?
easy,
The record
thing?
is the record is the most indicative of who moves on.
Okay, we
in
see
this
it now.
position.
It's a 1-1. Sure. So it's if one of them he wins, he advances. Clear slate.
There we go. Remind guys, by the way, there is a way to enter for a chance to win the Zeus Mini, as you see on the screen. There's a lot of cool stuff going on with the VGVN. They are trying to actively fight against legislation that hates on gamers and video games unfairly. They've been doing lots of cool stuff in esports for a few years, and they just want to kind of get the word out a little bit about what they're doing. So make sure to find out a way to enter for your chance to win by subscribing to the newsletter. It takes less than a minute in order to just sign up for some of these things. We're going to take a quick break, so you have an opportunity to go ahead and check these things out. And when we come back, the final series of the day, Trump versus Xixo, where the winner moves on to day 3.